Okay, I think I am done setting up for now. Hello, Tortoise. Welcome to stream. I know it's a little bit later than I normally do, but I figured might as well do something this evening and all that. So we're not going to be doing any painting or anything like that, or working on any other projects. We are going to be working on my Age of Sigmar Spearhead that I've had. I'm going to call this stream Sigmar Sunday. So for those curious, I have the old Seraphon Spearhead here. I have some of the models already built. Like I got the big dino here built and started working on the guy on the back and two other guys here. But I won't really try to use that book too much. Really just gonna see if things will fit together and work well, I guess, and go from there. I've had this sitting in storage for like quite a few months. I'd say it definitely needs to come out of the drawer of shame, I'd say, and be worked on. But other than that, I hope everyone's doing well this evening and are enjoying their weekend and everything. I'm going to push this back a little bit so I have some more room. There we go. So yeah, it's been a quiet weekend here over in the workshop, I guess. And just, I guess, kind of vibing and moving through everything. Haven't really had a strong urge to start a lot of these other big projects I want to do yet, or get stuff together for. So should I clear that off? Are these two even gonna really fit? Let's see, these two matching ones. I think so. Yeah, it looks like it. Once I get cleaned up, those two match. I've been a big fan of the Seraphon for quite a bit. For those that know or may not know, I am a very big Dino and Lizard fan. So when I found out about the Lizardmen and all that from Old World, Age of Sigmar, it piqued my interest quite a bit. And I was like, okay, what are these guys? What are they about? And I think they were my first interest before 40k. It's just more people are into 40k, which is which has most of my interest. But I do have interest in Age of Sigmar and fantasy models in general. So definitely be doing more of those in the future at some point. Come on. There you are. Now I need to really be careful with this knife. It's brand new and sharp. This is how I will cut myself. And the other option I have to do tonight is play some Space Marine 2 and try to level up some other classes, but I should just do that on my own time and other things like that. Although, I did play with a buddy last night, and I haven't played in quite a bit, so there's a few updates that I've missed, and I forgot how fucking cool the game is. So I gotta like make it be at least a game I play once a week. And just keep up to date with all that. My main class in that is the Assault class. I've just been a fan of the jetpacks and everything. But I'd really want to get good at the Bulwark class, just because I like Sword and Shield, all that stuff. But I got other friends that are better at the class than I am, and I am okay enough at Assault. I can get the job done, is how I look at it. Mold lines on these are a little bit better hidden than what I'm normally used to, but be fine. What's up, Hi How? Welcome to stream. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Yes, I saw that you were posting in the Discord about that. That you were looking for people to play test and all that. I hope you found a couple people and all that. And I hope they give you back some good feedback from testing out the game, or at least looking things over. You got 2 people so far? Well, that's good. It could also be something you play test with your friends and all that as well. If you haven't asked them already to try it and stuff. Not just a bunch of randos on the internet, but not that it hurts to ask people. Oh, and you came out with a song for one of the other factions. Well, that's cool. Might have to give a listen to it later. No, I'm late to the party, but I've been watching Stranger Things for the first time. And I will admit, I'm just watching it for the D&D scenes or the D&D references, and it's a good show. It's not something I'm like fully into, but it was something that my roommate had on every once in a while, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I watch it just to see why everyone likes it so much? So I have put it on in the background and seeing where it goes. Okay, so I got 2. Is there a stomach? There is. Which one does it look like it'll fit? I think it's going to be this one. Oh, this is going to be odd. Yeah, there's another one right there. We'll give this one a try. My favorite character out of the show so far has been Will. I like Will the most. I feel bad for the kid in the show. Not the actual actor, the character though. Just being singled out by the entities. And he did pretty well to survive for like, I don't know how many months he was in the God, what do they call it? I want to call it the Underdark for like a D&D reference, but that's not what they call it. Oh my lord. It's gonna bug me. The Upside Down? Is that what they call it? The Upside Down? It's so weird. Like, I'm curious on like why the dimension was formed. Like, has it always been a thing connected to our world, or was it made from the experiments and stuff? So I'm only on like season 2 and going through that. I literally started it. I started Friday? I started Friday. Either Friday or Thursday. So I'm not like sitting down and binge watching it. Okay. Is this going to be... Literally trying to find if I did the right shape or not for this. I don't think I did. I don't think I found the right body. Okay, we'll set that one off to the side. And I should match it up to these other ones. I need a square. It actually... Oh, it might be this one. It might be 74. I know I could use the instructions. I'm just trying to go in it a little bit more. I guess blind is the word? Does that work? How do these look together? It's going to be... I think it's actually the square one I need. Well, that's cool. It's cool you got like names for them and all that stuff, and they're very on brand and on theme. I think it is that one. I'm not gluing anything yet until I know for sure. Maybe not. Maybe it was that square one. Or is it this one? No, I think it's a square end one I need. Oh, Lord. It's kind of weird watching the show. Like, I have it kind of spoiled for me a little bit here and there in some parts. The biggest thing that I have a hard time registering in my brain. So, in the very first season, like, they make it so that you don't know 11 is a girl. That you think that they're a boy. And in my head, the character is registered as a boy, not as ever as a girl. I know later on, like, yes, they're a girl and all that stuff. It's just one of those, I don't know, things that, like, you showed the character in the beginning looking like a boy. It's a boy in my head. And it's hard to look and realize that, oh, no, they're a female. But it's good to see... No, it's not this one either. Which one are you? Or are you this one? No, it's kind of weird. Nope. Is it this one? No, actually, I am working on a Age of Sigmar Spearhead box for the Lizardmen or Seraphon. I figured it's Sunday. I've had this Spearhead kicking around in my drawer of shame for a while now. So I was going to start building it and putting it together. I'm just trying to figure out what part fits for the legs here. And I think I found it. I'm not trying to use the book too much. I'm just trying to see what fits and wing it a little bit. Yeah. I can certainly work on some Tyranid stuff, but it just felt like it's Sunday for me here, and it seemed like a good little rhyming thing. I'm also not really using the book because I don't have space to leave the book laying out on my desk. I think I might have to, though. What did I cut out? I cut 53 and... Oh, is it literally the first page? So 53 and like 54? No, those were other ones. So it must have been... Oh, my lord. What's up, Butterscotch? Hope you're enjoying the stream and all that. I'm trying to figure out where I am in my whole build. I didn't really want to use the box or the book. Screw it, we're not using the book. We're just gonna keep going. I think I might glue these two together, and then if I have to cut the body and fit it together, I will do that. I know it's not how it's supposed to be done, but it's what I'm doing. Okay, so I thought this is there. So somehow I gotta get... Well, good night, Hi Hal. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and stuff. Get some rest. Hopefully things work out with Inferno and everything you're working on with that. Is it this one? I guess it is the square one, huh? What's the best knight in my opinion? Personally, I'm a fan of the one that has a sword and a flamer on it, but that's just me. But maybe... I'm assuming you're talking about 40k here, not anything different. So I'm just going to double check myself. And let's see... Ah, you are. Oh. I don't have one of those knights. But they do have a sword and it looks like a Melta option, so that's the one I like. I'm not sure. I don't know all the different knight names and everything. I mostly just look at a weapon profile and be like, that's what I want. That's the weapon profile I want. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's one character from Stranger Things right now in Season 2 that I do not like. He's meant... I'm pretty sure he's meant to be dislikable. And it's, I think his name's Billy or something like that. Oh, he is such a big dick to his, like, stepsister. I don't know why he's a dick to her or, like, why he blames her for having to move to the town that Stranger Things take place in. But he can just pound sand. In my personal opinion. He can go happily pound sand. I've also seen him in like later seasons as well, and I don't like what he does in those seasons either, so that's my opinion on it. supposed to fit into this one? I don't think this was the correct one for you, huh? Is it that one? That looks right for the leg part. No, building's not as interesting as painting or some other stuff that I've done on here, but should I just say screw it and do green stuff for this? Probably could. Or I can just do that. And that way I know it will properly fit. Jeez. Can you just... No? That's not the one you want to be on, huh? Is it this one? Oh, this is confusing. Screw it. We're gonna green stuff it at some point. I'm not gonna sit around and spend an entire stream trying to get one chess piece to work. If I get the other ones to work, I get the other ones to work. But this is definitely going to be a little weird. Oh, that's the wrong way around, duh. Huh. Oh, did I literally cut 74? Oh, 74 is a chess piece. So which one is going to fit this? Oh, is it this one? This is weird. It's not that one. Okay, that's it, I guess. Right there. Cool. Cool. I've been trying to think about what I want to paint these guys as. When I initially got them, I was going to do them in, well, I guess no points for anyone that can guess, but I was going to paint them in blue and orange. Try to make them look like the Mudkip and Swampert evolution line. But now that I've done a bit more painting and modeling, I'm like, I can really do a lot more than just like blue and orange, or a more unique color scheme, I guess, as well, than just that line of blue and orange. But I thought about making like these guys look like a Mudkip, and then the Crocosaurs or the other warrior class be like a Marshtomp, and then the big dinos like a Swampert. But I'm like, that's a bit odd, maybe, or I don't know. So I think I do understand the lore wise, like every Seraphon that's born in a hatching pool are the same color, so it's important to have them like all be roughly the same color or markings and stuff like that. But some variation's fine. I couldn't have like, oh, you can't have like a green like Seraphon and a red color one from the same hatching. They're two different hatching groups. So that is some other things. And I can also pull a lot from actual reptiles and stuff, because there are so many colorful reptiles out there in the world. I could even pull inspiration from birds too. Like, birds have such beautiful coloring and plumage that you can definitely do like whatever color you want to do for birds, or not, or for these guys, not just birds in general. No, you cuck. This is my one issue with these at least this army, is that it's hard to put together, in my opinion. Like, where you gotta glue them, it's not much in the way of they don't really touch that well together, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it makes it a little bit tough to like put it together. But I'd say besides Seraphon, there's like a few armies I want to do from, or that I want to do for Age of Sigmar. I'd like to do a Chaos one. A lot of their Chaos models look really cool and would be fun to like build and put together. Especially the Archons. The Archons look like so badass. Oh, excuse me. But I'm also like a fan of the they're not Thunder Warriors, the guys in golden armor and all that. That's another faction I'm into. And then I'm also into doing like a vampire or skeleton army. That seems like fun and interesting because they also have some cool looking models. So, and definitely the Seraphon. Like I said, the Seraphon might be the main one I do, but there's so much in the way of like options and what I can do that it's hard to just pick one. Okay, there we go. But I haven't looked at the rules at all for Age of Sigmar. Are they like complicated at all, or is it easier to get into than 40k? I assume it's a little bit more complicated, especially where like there's some weird stuff with terrain. Like if you're near certain bits of terrain, you can get buffs and stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting to hear about. Okay, that guy's together. Let's try to get you. It's gonna suck. Come on. Every time I glue it together, it's going to be a pain to put it back together after I...
Ladies and gentlemen!
Nope. It has to be this one. Not that one either. Okay, we're gonna leave this one to the side. See what I have. I can also switch things up tonight too. Am I itching to do this, or am I itching to do some Space Marine 2? Looked out. It's that one. Why not look out on the next one though? Because did I cut an 87 off of this? Doesn't seem like it. Definitely have a few options with this army. I actually watched someone play like Seraphon not too long ago, and kind of re-sparked my interest in doing this army, because they were just full of color and all these different just unique units, and they were a lot bigger than I thought they'd be too. Also works though, because whatever pieces I don't use from this kit, I will steal and use into my 40k army. I don't think I'll have many extra bits left over, but it is definitely an option. Kind of feeling like a red and blue color mixture for this group of reptiles. It's a color combination I have never really seen before, and I think would be kind of fun to do. I don't really use red that much. It's not a color I enjoy, just in general. Like, I prefer blue because I believe like blue is a calming and like that type of stuff with color. So red has always been it involves anger, and I don't really enjoy anger as all as an emotion. So, but I have to realize it's just a color, and it's okay to expand and use different colors. Because it's also very limiting if you only use like a selective 5 colors at most for all your model painting stuff. I mean, if it's colors you enjoy, then it's colors you enjoy. But for me, it's gotta be okay with using other things. I have stolen one part from this box already for another model. I took a spear from this box and tried to give it to a librarian that I have. I won't undo that decision, but I will probably have to mess and fix with that model a little bit. It didn't really line up that well on the model. I tried to use green stuff and I tried to have it set, but it's long. You try to make it sit and there's no way to make it lay flat, so it got a little crooked. It doesn't line up well, so I gotta take it apart and then drill a hole and put the shaft of the spear through the hole and do that. Should be easy enough. I just don't want to like destroy the hand of the librarian and all that. Come on, line up. Whew, that glue's starting to get strong. Oh. I'm glad I only do this for a couple hours, not a full day. God damn. I can see why people that end up gluing all day have like such a massive headache after. Come on, why are you so weirdly unaligned on this side? There you go. We're going to try and make this one fit together. Come on. Somehow the math isn't mathing here for it. Regret breaking it all apart now and see, it doesn't want to sit like it's supposed to, which tells me it's the wrong piece. Kind of want to get, we're just trying to wing it. So I'll put those aside and I will figure out later. What's up, Hannibal? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing okay this evening. Appreciate you stopping in just for a little bit before you probably have to dip out. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Welcome to, well, I'm glad you can be here for an hour or so. I am working on some, so I know you're not much into Warhammer and all that. There's a fantasy side to Warhammer, and I am working on the fantasy, or I'm working on some fantasy models for that side. The book Dorzo I was talking about last stream, do you remember? I remember you guys talking about it. Well, that's good. It's better than initially thought and all that. So it's a highly recommended book now, I guess. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Is it still like an... Is it still very similar to an isekai book, or is it not so similar anymore now that you've read a bit more of it? Oh, I'm not painting anything in general. I'm just building. There's a fantasy side to Warhammer called Age of Sigmar, and like how the sci-fi side has a thing called Combat Patrol that's around 500 points. The fantasy side has a box called Spearhead that's around, I think, the same size. And I am doing one of the fantasy style boxes. And I could... The name of the faction is Seraphon, but to simplify it, I'm building a bunch of lizard men. I'm building a bunch of lizard men that ride dinosaurs. It's very similar to Isekai, but it's better, more complex, and more gray. Well, hey, if it's within your taste, then it's a good book. I think that's all that really matters, is if you enjoy a book and you enjoy all the stuff in it, then hell yeah. Oh, nice. So yeah, I'm building a Seraphon one. I've had this Spearhead for like almost a year. As I've said multiple times on stream, I am a big dino kid and I love reptiles and all that. So this faction, honestly, I knew about I knew Age of Sigmar and the Seraphon way before I knew about like 40k and Warhammer in general. I think I knew about this faction, or at least I saw stuff on this one, and then as I like went down the Warhammer rabbit hole, it's when I got pulled more into sci-fi. But I think a lot of the fantasy models look a lot cooler than 40k. But the variety for me is all that. It is Age of Sigmar stuff. It is. Like I was saying, I am doing the old Spearhead box for the Seraphon. How dare? What do you mean, how dare? I can like multiple things in the 40k. And I love 40k as well. But I can also like the fantasy side of it as well. I want to play, you know, some fantasy because fantasy is my first love. And you know what? Sigmar has a faction that I like quite a bit. They got lizards that can ride dinosaurs. There's not much more I can ask than that. Well, personally, I'd like something that's a little bit more dinosaur accurate. Yeah, like, I think that's the case for most places. Age of Sigmar is like the second-hand thing for a lot of stores and all that, 40K and the sci-fi version of Warhammer is pushed a lot harder than like Old World or Age of Sigmar, like I said already. Just they'd rather you buy stuff for their big money maker. And then everything else is like a little side interest. Even though fantasy was like the first thing I think they did. Nice. That's always cool. I gotta figure out... Okay, I gotta keep these two separate. Somehow I gotta put this guy's body... Nah, I'll just glue this and then... it's more so the owner's side gig for fun, so they're really trying to push just interest in general. I like that. I like to hear that. I like a game store that focuses more on its hobbies and customer base. I mean, yes, it should make money. It is a business first. But if it can get the community group built by just having like, your community is your base for every single business. So I feel like if you don't listen to your community, you don't listen to your base, then it's not gonna be well for you. Like, all my favorite stores have been ones that focus more on you as an individual and then shows you the like wider range of stuff. What's my favorite color? Got a new toy, and you want to paint sap again. Blue, orange, green are my favorite colors. Blue and green are equal, oranges below both of them for like colors. Yellow and checkers are superior. Lamenters have such a good color scheme. I will agree. I learned about the Lamenters, so they hold a special spot in my heart, but they're not my first interest. Okay, 88 and 91. I hope the Lamenters are doing well. I hope that the Lamenters are still a thing, because I really want to see. Oh, why do I don't have an 88 on this sprue. Okay. Officially they have Primaris models. My question is, are they official Lamenters or are they a chapter called The Lamenters? Is my question, because I know a book. Yes, deliver a Gilliman. Yes, Gilliman delivered them. Nice. Was it? I'm curious. Was it stated? Lore-wise, you've been given them. Okay. Was it during the Devastation of Baal? Like, was it during that book? Or is it a book outside of that? Because I want to read Devastation of Baal. And I don't know if Lamenters were there or not. Or people... I am working on the Age of Sigmar Spearhead box for the Seraphon or Lizardmen. That's what I'm working on today. And I figured I'd call today Sigmar Sunday because it's Sunday and I'm working on Age of Sigmar stuff. I do like Age of Sigmar stuff. Their range interests me. I want to get into it, but I feel like some of the models they have, they get close to what I'm looking for, but they're not directly like where I want to be. If that kind of makes sense, it's a weird little thing for me. Well, thank you, Piglet. Yeah, I am trying to figure out how this arm is going to line up. I have a few other Age of Sigmar stuff that I want to work on in the future. I'm going to be doing a 40k crusade with a friend next week, which I'm excited about, but I also think we both have interest in Age of Sigmar. I think he might like Age of Sigmar a bit more. Did I cut the right one out? I'm messing with it so much I can't even tell. Which one do you need for your arm? 91, and I cut 91 out. Sometimes it's an issue. You just can't get things to line up perfectly. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Commentator. I hope you're enjoying your evening so far and are having a good weekend and all that. I am trying to fiddle-faddle with this freaking arm and make it line up so it works, but I don't think it is. Well, I'm happy for you there, bud. I'm happy for you. I think I'm just gonna glue it, and then if I have to green stuff, I will. It's weird, like... Okay, and if I line up like that... I like it. I did a kit bash for the first time not too long ago, and I think it turned out relatively okay, and I want to do more in the future. Last stream I started to build my own Helldrake using bits from Age of Sigmar. And then I'm going to throw on, like, weapons and stuff that I haven't used for, or from 40k. And make it look like an actual, like a less mechanical and more like demon. Yes, it is chaos, but it's not for me. Again, when I mentioned I am going to be doing a crusade for a friend, he plays chaos. He builds his models, I paint them, but I have built and painted. I built Abaddon for him, and now I'm doing this Helldrake, which he doesn't know about. Reading up on built some stuff from the Salamander's Combat Patrol. Ended up decking out the generic Assault Intercessors so they look like company heroes. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. I might, keyword is might, do a Salamander's army. I'm kind of scratching that itch with my own custom Space Marine chapter, but Salamanders are one of my top 4 favorite chapters. You want to do a Emperor's Children's army? There's one. Okay, you say Emperor's Children. There's one model from Age of Sigmar that I think would fit perfectly in Emperor's Children, because like Slanesh is all about perfection, and there's one model that literally looks like a regular dude but with angel wings, and I'm like, that would be perfect for a Emperor's Children army. And I say perfect because, or at least in my opinion, I think it'd be perfect. It looks beautiful and alluring. It's just a dude. It just looks like a regular dude. So I'm like, oh, you could use that as like an Emperor's Children Chaos Lore or something like that. I mean, yes, that is what Slanesh does. I'm trying to think on how... When I look at it, I'm like, that could just... For me, I would use him in a Space Marines, like, Emperor's Children one. But, yes, the Pursuit of Perfection does corrupt people. And it turns them to not look... To them, they look perfect. To everyone else, no. And for me, it's like, oh, that looks... It's deception. Like... It needs to... When I think of chaos, I think of deception and tricking you into worshipping it. And what's one of the best ways of doing that? By having someone that looks extremely good looking. Yeah, I can agree on that. Or what you could do is you could take some... You could take some regular Space Marine models and just kind of like add chaos bits to them. Okay, I will read that in a moment. Focus on when you remove the plastic bits from the print, how much is considered enough and won't be forthcoming on the mini when painted. I don't know. I kind of go until I think it looks smooth. For me, like, sometimes I get a little too pedantic on how much I remove. Because really when it's painted, like, how much are you going to see from a distance? Like, if it's a really big bit on the plastic, then, like, yeah, you can see from a distance. But if it's, like, this little spearhead, I'm, like, just removing enough so it looks smooth. And then when it's painted, you can't really tell. Lighting from right now kind of sucks. There we go. There we go. Hey, I'm glad I could help. It is a lot when you first start out and everything to build and put these models together. But then, you know, as you start doing it, it just gets easier and easier. For I need to keep some of these. Yes, what Warrior said is very true. For me, when I first got into, like, Warhammer, it was scratching an itch of I like to be creative and build, so it's like a little puzzle that I get to use and have at the end and look at. I am building a spearhead box from Age of Sigmar. This is the Seraphon spearhead, or more probably better known as the Lizardmen. So that is what I am putting together and building here. 88. 88's right there. So that is what I'm building and put together. It's Sunday, and I had this spearhead box for a while, so I'm calling this evening my Sigmar Sunday. I know, it's 40K is the mainstream one that everyone kind of knows or, like, does. But there are a lot of other, like, games they have. I know they got, like, Blood Bowl and all that. That one doesn't interest me. It just seems odd. Is how I look at it. Like, okay, so it's rugby football, I guess, but like I haven't looked any bit into it whatsoever. I don't have any interest in it. It just seems like an odd thing, but who knows? Necromunda kind of interests me a little bit more just because they have some really weird looking minis. Do they have Sanguinius? No, and you know what? I think it's better for it. Not that I don't dislike the Primarchs and their stories. A lot of times they are taking... Sometimes they take up too much room. And I like learning about the regular people and all that. With that being said, my favorite book from 40K is Lionel Johnson, Son of the Forest. I'm just trying to dry fit this one, figure out where it goes. I feel like they numbered this wrong, or I'm doing it on the wrong model. Maybe. I definitely have to green stuff that one and put that together. I really do hope I have some bits left over. I don't want to have to buy another Seraphon box just to build some unique Space Marines. On this one. No, but it has an 88. That's awesome. Okay. What about on this one? I do. I will say, if you are getting into Warhammer, the tools that you can get from their store work for a bit, but if you can find some better stuff that cuts a little bit cleaner, then definitely grab those. I like these clippers. They've done well for me, but I look at these more as a cleaver than like a precise tool. And a lot of times I spend too much time with the hobby knife cleaning up what I wasn't able to get with the clippers. And I've seen some hobby knives, I don't have them yet, that just cleanly cut. I do. Is that what you're saying? Noted. I will say for myself, I didn't have to worry about buying a hobby knife or anything. I got given like a hobby knife set years ago when I was into leather crafting and knife making. So I got given this hobby knife in particular when I was like middle school, stuff like that, and I've had it ever since, and it has worked wonderful for me. It came in a wooden box with 2 other knives, and I only really use like one knife, which is the smallest one. You get nippers, hobby knife, palm drill, a detail, plastic brush, plastic glue, green stuff, and a modeling. Yeah, I don't disagree. That is some good stuff right there. I was gonna say, I spent most of my time buying all that stuff separately. Because I have like the Army Painter palm drill, which is the one I prefer over Citadel's. And what else? I have bought my own green stuff on my own, and I'm not a fan of using plastic glue. I just kind of go with whatever's cheapest from like a dollar store for me, and it's just this super glue that has a brush attachment to it. That's all I use. Oh, there goes the arm. Yeah. As much as like you could be probably precise with the tip and all that, I like being able to brush it on. That way I know I did get glue on there. And it doesn't really melt the model. I mean, it does a little bit, but it's more just like holding all that together. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some green stuff on these guys. Ooh, yeah, I've heard about Tamiya quite a bit. I want to get the one that's like the sprue goo mix. I think that would be really cool. Am I looking at the wrong one? And I took the arms for a different one? I think I did. Yeah, I did. This guy has the wrong arms on him. I think it's 48. So I think that actually goes to that one. And this also goes to that one. So now I need... I'll look into it at some point. That's the thing. But it's like none of the stores that I go to, because I like going to a physical store, sell that stuff. So I don't really buy it online at all. Not that I'm opposed to buying stuff online, I just like physically going to a place and buying my materials there. And then for the arm, it was 48. hit 250. Thank y'all for subscribing, I will say. I should put up like a notification for whenever I get a subscriber or whatnot, but I'm gonna say thank you for any of y'all that did that. We do have a slight goal, I will say, for like I just use OBS, but I could use like Stream Elements or some other programs to set that up. I've just been too lazy to set that stuff up, to be fully honest. Like, there's a lot of like extra things I want to do. I could have done it this weekend. I just was lazy, which is not good. Eventually, I want to stream on YouTube and Twitch. But again, multi-streaming, I can't figure out how to get YouTube chat and stream and Twitch chat to look or be blended together at the same time. And I was having two separate chats, but I couldn't get Twitch chat to show up on YouTube's stream. Yeah, I like OBS. OBS has been like awesome for a lot of things. Okay. Do you have a spot you want to sit? Yeah, I'm sure it is. So like, I'm not too concerned about notifications and all that stuff. Like, at some point, if I got bigger, yes, I will look into it and do it. But right now, where I'm still small and all that stuff, not that concerned. But as I was saying, what set am I doing? You talking about like what I'm building here? I don't think this was the right arm either. Doesn't seem to really line up as well. I am building I'm building a Spearhead box from Age of Sigmar. I am doing the Seraphon box or the Lizardman box. I've had this sitting in my drawer for a while. Ugh. And it has needed to be put together for quite a while. So I'm calling this Sunday Sigmar Sunday. So I'm working on Sigmar's model stuff. That's also going to need to be green stuffed as well. Or will it sit better somewhere else? My fingers are too large to see every single spot. Oh, come on. Just... Nice. I haven't painted AdMech yet, but they look fun to paint. Sit there. Can you sit there and be good? The answer to that is yes. Yes, it can. As I was saying before, I do kind of have a challenge I'm doing on the side. I stream every once in a while when I so choose, but I am also trying to paint 1,000 points of Space Marines within 20 days. I think we're on day 10. And this hasn't been consecutive, like, every stream I'm doing this. It's whenever I want to work on it, I can work on it. So I am kind of cheating a little bit on this whole goal, but if we reached I think like, I don't know if it was 350 or 500 subscribers. I'd have to double check. I think it's 500. I will add a knight model to that army, and I have one in mind that I want to do, and I will stream and build and paint that model. Also, if we hit 1,000, I will paint Lionel Johnson. It's one of the very first models I ever bought because I really wanted Lionel Johnson. It was like the 5th one I bought. I haven't built and everything. I just don't feel like my skill in painting is good enough to paint him. Or at least at the time I did not. So I set a goal when I started this channel. Like, I'm not going to paint him unless I hit this milestone. And I will say painting and building, within a year, my skills have improved quite a bit when it comes to, from where I started painting and all that stuff. I know I'm not painting and I'm talking about, I'll show a model in a moment. I have come a long way. I have an Instagram that shows some of the very first models that I ever built and painted. I don't have those ones anymore. I am reusing them, or I stripped them and I'm using them in a different army. But I will grab a model that I did recently, or I'll grab a couple models I did recently. Want to see Paul Allen's miniature? Who's Paul Allen's? But I'm gonna set these guys up real quick. Doop. And these two. So, I talked about them a little bit before. This is the color scheme for my custom Space Marine chapter. I call them the Executioners of the Abyss. They technically have 2 color schemes. So this is what everyone else in the chapter looks like. Blue, orange, with green eye lenses. And everybody in First Company, which someone also talked about kid bashing as well. This is my first actual real attempt at kit bashing, and is also oh, okay. I've not seen American Psychos. Thank you. It is a kit bash of an Emperor's Champion and Master Lazarus. So the arms and legs are from the Emperor's Champion, and the body is from Master Lazarus. But I have been in a crusade at my local game store, and I have a captain with Relic Shield that I've been mostly running as my warlord, and he's gone so buff in the crusade that he needed, in my opinion, his own model. So I built and kit bashed this guy and all that. And like I said, this is First Company. So First Company is black armor with blue colors for the cloth and blue trim. I love him. And it's all silver for the Aquila stuff. This is a Judiciar that I painted like 4 to 6 months into my painting career. I say Judiciar, it's a chaplain that I just gave a sword from the Black Templars box and a shield, and I run him as a Judiciar. And then I got Dreadnought here that I call Big Jim. And I love Big Jim. So those are like some of like the ones that are painting skills now. I actually have a video on my channel of like my technically first kit bash. It's not really a kit bash. It's, oh, I just magnetized some arms so I can run them as a chaplain or a Judiciar. I want to get a proper Judiciar at some point. I'm just not spending a stupid amount of money to go and get a Judiciar. I love Big Jim as well. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard people call the Dreadnought in Space Marine 2 Big Jim. So I named my Dreadnought after him because I love Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Especially that one has been amazing. Let's see, I need number 49. I might not have a 49 anymore. I want to. It sold out online last time I checked. Okay, I might have used 49 in a different project. Did use 49 on a different project. Oh, agreed. And I like the honors. I like Blade Guard veterans and Blade Guard stuff in general. Well, it's fine that I've used it in a different project. I'll just use one of the clubs here. Like I said, I stole the spear for a librarian because I want the librarian to have like a spear staff. So I'm okay with just giving him one of these clubs. Oh god, excuse me. Let's see, is there a 50? There's 50. He's okay to have something different. I should get a 3D printer or find a place that makes like a spear print, and I'll just use those instead in the future when it comes to my models. Thank you, Warrior. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And yeah, I mean, if we get there, we get there. If we don't, we don't. I'm not stressed about it. I'm just here to have fun and chat and meet people and hang out. So I'm not rushing. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Not the Croxagore, although at some point I think I will get to them. They're under the Croxagore. They're not skinks. What are they called? I'm building the Source Warriors from the Age of Sigmar Spearhead box. I'm building some of them. Okay, I need 87, I think. I have not on that one. 87. Well, thank you. I'm trying. It's been sitting in my shelf of shame, I guess, for a while now. So I'm trying to just put it together and see how it goes. Do I not have the bit I'm looking for? It'd be really weird if I don't. This is the part I hate. I hate trying to find the bits. Because sometimes I'm just freaking blind. I'll keep those over there. Keep down there because I don't need that. Why am I missing a chest bit? That's so weird. This is the annoying part. This is why I don't like building on stream. This one that it fits onto. The answer to that question is yes. Yes, it does. Cool, that one I cut up over there is what I need. Before I do that, let me actually clean it up. I actually sat down today and organized my models into ones I have to strip paint off of and ones that I have kind of completed, I guess. Like, I have very few models that are actually fully, completely painted. And I think I need to sit down and spend like a day getting all these models that I'm using just to the same level. As much as I thought this coming year I would start a new army and go through with that, no. The answer to that is no. We are going to finish models that I have sitting around and not done yet before I start a new army. I'm sure there's been hundreds of people that have said that in the past. I am not the first one to say that. But I am going to make sure I stick to that. Have the waist section, but I do have the part that goes in between the legs. Nope, I got the waist part right there. That's what I get for trying to make random bits just work. Come on, off my finger. There. Now we're just going to add a smidget of that. Let that dry, get this one all cleaned up, and put that one together. I think I will do some fun green stuff with these guys, give them like a little bit more armor here and there, covering up them parts. I know their skin is really tough to begin with and all that. Welcome back, Mr. Commentator. Body for that guy went. Or, oh, there's 4 here. It's one of those. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Kind of think of all these different colors I want to use. I might try painting the big dino yellow. That might actually be fun. I haven't really used yellow that much, so I'm thinking like that would be an interesting combo. I also had the idea of like painting these guys up as different Monster Hunter monster colors, which that could be interesting because there's some very unique colors in that setting as well. Okay, that looks... There we go.
Go change that beat up. Here we go.
Nice. Oh, nope. It slid. And... Yay. Yay! What? What have you done now, Hannibal? He's got his spoon! That's nice. I like that. For those that are that don't know, I have a Discord, and Hannibal showed a piece of art in the Discord. I've talked about a D&D character that I played once before, which is kind of based off of the little lizard guy I have here. Actually, the D&D character came before the lizard guy here. But I played a sentient salamander called Sap on a very large community D&D Discord server. And on that server, you had the ability to fish. There was a command to do that. So I'd have this little gecko go swim off into like the lake or stream, and every fish he caught, I'd look up like what was the biggest size that fish ever was. So I'd have him come back with like a 6-foot long catfish, or like a 4-foot long pike. And the only thing he used for bait was himself, and the only thing he used to take down these massive fish was a spoon. So if you see that and have any curiosity, that's where that comes from. I loved playing that character. He was not meant to be a serious character. His main goal was to learn the wish spell and wish away all humans, because he considered humans evil. But he had a little test that he would have you do called the marshmallow test. If you harmed or ate the marshmallow in any... Yeah, if you harmed the marshmallow or ate it, you were considered evil, and you were put on a list. Or no, if you ate or did anything to the marshmallow, you were noted as evil to him. As if you saved the marshmallow, or like offered it back to him, or did anything nice to it or with it, then you were put on a list and considered safe and good. I did have a pet mouse, and it crossed my mind, should I use the mouse? But it's like, what if people actually harm the mouse? And like, people aren't gonna like expect a good or evil test with a marshmallow. So it was a fun little thing I did for a while. I stopped playing in that server a while ago, and also just because life got no, just people kept going in and out of it all the time. Like all the people I used to play with and talk to in that one stopped being a part of it, so it just became harder and harder to like go and create new connections again with this whole character and be like, this is exhausting. I don't want to do this every single time. Like I don't want to keep doing this like month after month after month. So I just stopped playing one day in it, and yeah. So I apologize for that like long-winded ramble about a random piece of art that no one can see right now. I might call it here. Good little 10-hour stream. Or not 10. 2-hour stream, I mean. I know it's not anything too crazy, but it's 10 o'clock where I am, and I should go get some rest. So, I'm going to go flip over to the song I like to use for our outro here. So, yes, I'm going to end things here. I will say to begin with, if you enjoyed the content here, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. If you want to help support the channel and see things upgraded, such as new equipment, editors for videos, all that type of stuff, I have a Ko-Fi account that you can donate to. I am always happy to stream and all that, but with all that being said, you don't have to do that either. Just having you here, being a part of the lurkers, the people chatting, talking, all that stuff, it's more than enough. I'm just as well happy to sit here, build my little plastic guys, work on my random projects when I get a chance to, and just have someone to talk to about it. So yeah, with that all being said, I want you to go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.